What's going on, guys? It's Thomas on the Switch Shop. I'm joined by Mac and PJ live. We're at PAX East. We were just at PAX East day one, Thursday. We're recording this after we got back, and it was a pretty cool show. We got some funny stories to talk about. There's some cool games we played, some not so cool, some interesting games we played, and then some games that came out in 2019 called Yoshi's Crafted World.
Some games that came out in 1985.
Yeah,
we'll get into that.
Yeah, crazy. Nintendo demoed a game from 1985. That's just inspirational stuff. They're pushing the industry forward every time they come to one of these shows. And it's dope. PAX is awesome. It's the only time of the year we're like all together pretty much. And so we're recording a podcast for you guys. Again, Nintendo Tonight. It's been dormant. We thought we had a streak going. I think we even brought it up that we had a streak going.
Yeah, we were like, I think 4 or 5 episodes like into a streak, and then again I went on vacation, screwed everything up. So.
It's like I went on vacation and then you.
We gotta just stop going on vacation.
No vacation. No days off.
No days off. Always on the grind.
Audio listeners, sorry if the audio for this episode is a little scuffed. We don't have an IRL recording set up, so we're doing what we can. Visual listeners, you shouldn't care about the audio because it's cool seeing the three of us together rather than the same brick background you always see. So, all right, I guess we didn't practice or schedule.
No, I did
write this out at all. So how do we want to start this? Do we want to? I think everyone probably cares about what Nintendo did at PAX.
I think we should start with that first.
Start with Nintendo and then we'll go into the rest.
All right.
So we can talk about the first like Nintendo booth or whatever. So like right near the entrance, where you like come into like the floor or whatever, Nintendo's booth is there. Like it's like they're.
It's like, probably the biggest one there, right?
For sure.
It's probably not like the most impressive looking one, but it's definitely like the biggest.
In terms of like surface area.
Yeah, in terms of like square foot, it's like
square footage.
It's like it's like the biggest size I think a publisher could buy.
Yeah.
Like I didn't see it. There were other ones that were the same size, but there was nothing like that big.
Yeah. So before we explain that, I guess. Before you even get into PAX, there's this giant statue of Link, like Tears of the Kingdom Link. And he has like the arm, and it's like the glowing arm and whatever.
And we'll put pictures of like what we're talking about. We took videos for most of it, so we'll put that stuff on the screen when it can be. So again, audio listeners, sorry, you guys are getting like triple screwed over for this episode, but it just is what it is. It is what it is.
But anyway, we see that, and it's like, oh my god, this is great. Like, we're going to see, like, Tears of the Kingdom stuff. Because, like, literally, when you walk in the convention center, even, like, before the floor, like, you see this massive Link statue, and it's, like, the center of attention in, like, the entire thing. And it's like, oh, this is so cool. Like, we're going to get Tears of the Kingdom stuff. And I think we were all disappointed, for sure, like, when we actually got to the Nintendo booth. Because it was very confusing. So... As we said, it's the biggest booth, but, it's, like, on the floor, and it's pretty much, like, barred off or whatever. And, you have this line that you go through.
And the line's always huge, because it's the Nintendo booth. Yeah. So,
like, we were first because the creators get, like, a media hour or whatever. And we'll get into media hour, because I bought something I probably shouldn't have. So, anyway, we'll get into that. But... So, we are lining up. We're like basically the first ones in, and the game selection is probably the weirdest. So what Nintendo did for their booth, which was I also found a little disappointing, was that they literally just had a setup of like a bunch of Switches, and you would play games. Like that's pretty much it.
You can expect, but like it's not games like you'd expect to be seeing in 2023.
The main
Nintendo
contention
show.
Was the lineup, and like I think you can get into that a little bit.
So,
it was very confusing, and we didn't see Zelda Tears of the Kingdom at all. When like it would be a great time to show a demo, considering it comes out in May, but there was just nothing, and it's really weird because you have that big ass statue at the entrance, and then you just have nothing Zelda related on the floor. It's like.
It was odd. I think the weirdest part about it was the games they chose. It was so the whole thing was it was a Nintendo versus event, right? There was like you were going against each other the whole time. That was the point. The games there, first of all, they didn't pick new games. They were all older. They didn't pick
none of the newest games.
It was
Superstars. Mario Party Superstars.
Yeah, Mario Party Superstars.
So do you want to explain the full lineup first?
Well, yeah. So
the game lineup.
I'll get to that. But there was Metroid Prime Remastered. Great game. Just dropped in February.
Why not?
That was not there. No. There was Advance Wars. That comes out in like a month. Not there. No. That game's been done for like over a year. Not there. No. What we did have was And listen to me when I say this. We had, first game we played, Mario Party Superstars. Game's been out over a year. Everyone already owns it. Yeah, no DLC for it or anything.
Yep.
Second game, they move us over to Mario Golf Super Rush. Another game, been out since 2020.
Not even the most recent Mario sports game.
No.
But that probably was for... It probably was
Yeah, they didn't even like show off like Battle League. They showed off like
Mario Golf.
That's so
Because Battle League is terrible and they know it.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Sorry, it had to be said. Then we got... After that, we moved to... When I think Nintendo Versus, when I think competitive Nintendo games, I think of Yoshi's Crafted World. And that's what they had up next. They had Yoshi's Crafted World demoed at PAX 2023. This game came out in 2019, and this game is awful. And I would like to apologize to Nintendo. And, well, not Nintendo the company, but anyone who was working at the Nintendo booth, we had just waited in this line, and we'd waited for them to open up. I was just trying to have some fun. I own all these games already, except for Mario Golf, but, like, I've played it before. I was just trying to have some fun. So the demo level of Yoshi's Woolly World was like big Yoshi.
It was the worst level that could have possibly.
It was Go-Go Yoshi. It was where you were like
Go-Go Yoshi. That's what it's called.
And you have like the two.
You have the fists.
It's like the fists on the robot.
And all you do is you're in the mech, and it's an auto scroller, and you just hit stuff. And I was like, I saw that was the level that he wanted me to play. I said, hell no, I'm not playing that level. So I went over to the next world, which is like the desert world, talked to the little robot guy.
No, you can only play Go-Go Yoshi. It's
the demo had enough. The demo somehow had like 10 of the flower things, so I spent the 10 flower things to go unlock the next world. I get to the next world, and the guy just hovers in. That like some of the exhibitors there at like in the Nintendo booth were super cool. I was talking to one of them. He was a super nice guy. He was kind of joking. We were joking around like just making fun of each other. It was a fun time. But then some of them just were, they're clearly clock in, clock out, just there to do their job. But some of them were like very overbearingly like, nope, you can't, like you guys were playing Mario Golf. Or Mac and I played Mario Golf. He 3-0'd me because I hadn't played the game before and he's just better than me. So I lost immediately. I hand the controller off to PJ. They start playing in the middle of their game.
And they're just no, you can only do one.
It's like, no, one.
Yeah.
I
think the most egregious one was Mario Party, though.
Mario Party was the worst one.
Oh my god, dude. I don't even understand.
They picked a selection of 3 Mario Party games for
minigames. Yeah. Not even a Mario Party like game or anything.
No,
not
just
even
the
like
minigames.
A short round, just the minigames. And they picked the one where you're like jumping the beanstalk or whatever onto the leaves.
Yeah, that's a good minigame.
The one where you avoid the penguins.
Pushy penguins,
Penguins not bad.
What's the other one?
Bowser's Big Blast. It's all luck. It's all luck.
Yeah, it's all luck.
I don't understand how that's like showing off your game. That's literally just like.
And then we asked the lady why these mini games were chosen, and she was like, "Oh, because we feel that's the best showcase of like
the mushroom
unique."
Like,
gameplay.
They had like rehearsed a response. They like clearly this was he intentionally picked these 3 minigames. The guy who was like demoing the game and took the controller from us to
and he would favorite them. So he favorited like the 3 minigames.
These 3 minigames intentionally, and then when I asked him, and then they asked this other lady, they both had the same rehearsed response, which was something like it was along the lines of these are the most unique games in the Mushroom Kingdom, and I just look at him like. What are we doing? What are we doing? And of course, so I think at the start it was PJ and I were playing the Mario Party mini games, and Mac was like, "Oh, it's okay. I'm just gonna film," because the lady was like, "Oh, do you want to go grab?"
I wanted to film
stuff. Oh my god!
To film stuff for the channel because we were in there during I think it was right after media hour, but we had the media press badges. Like everyone's filming. This is just the most Nintendo thing ever because if any other indie, there's tons of great indie games at PAX, and if any of them see you filming, they'll, go over to you and like and like help you through the game and like make sure you're having a good time and all that stuff. Tell them what
they told me to stop filming
unless
Mario Party
it's the
Superstars. Unless it's the controller.
Unless you just film the controller, you can't record the screen of Mario Party Superstars.
I can film
a game that's been out for over a year. The game has sold almost 10 million copies, I think, or over.
Yeah.
It has been released.
Let me just be clear. If this was Tears of the Kingdom, which was the game I thought was going to maybe be there,
that would have made sense because it's a game that like hasn't. That makes sense.
Like they said it's not going to be like demoable, but anyways. that would make sense, but they're using like the guidelines of like recording a new game for old games.
Yeah.
So when we were talking about a game, kind of to circle back to the lineup, when we were talking about a game that was released in 1985, we're actually talking about Mario 1.
The original Super Mario Bros.
So we're talking
on the
about,
NES.
We're talking about,
they were demoing that at PAX.
Yeah, so they're on Nintendo Switch Online. It's World 1-1. And the guy says what you need to do is it's a competition between two people, and it's the person that gets the most points from adding up like from like getting power-ups and like everything you get from. And like when you hit the flag, like, you know, you get like the time that you had and then you get the points.
Yeah.
Okay. So Thomas like beat Mac, like whatever. And then the guy's like, oh, that's it. Like, thank you. And he gives us a pin.
No 1-2.
No 1-2.
No 1-2. Like Thomas loaded into 1-2. He's about to start playing. And he's like, oh, no, like we're done.
Yeah.
What?
He like stepped in front of him and was like, no.
It's bizarre.
You're done.
It's very, very odd. In the most Nintendo way possible, they had to control every aspect.
You couldn't go around and play what games you wanted to. You had to go.
It was a fine in tune circuit. It was like first you go Mario Party and then you get a pin. It's like literally laid out.
Yeah.
You play, get a game, or get a pin. Play, get a pin. Play, get a pin. Play, get a pin. Bye. Take a picture of Luigi. Bye. Which, okay, that was probably my favorite part.
That was funny.
That was iconic. We'll put the picture on the screen right now. But yeah.
Although I hate that we had to wear masks.
Yeah.
Like I feel like a weirdo saying it, but like I hate
for
that
a
we
picture,
had, for a picture, like for a photo
yeah.
op. Like, are we not allowed to take off our masks?
Yeah, like
I didn't even ask. Maybe she would have let us.
Yeah.
I feel awkward asking.
I think you probably feel that way just because like you can't see like the happiness on our face kind of thing.
Like it's just like
you
what am I
can't
gonna
see
do with
our
that
facial
picture? You
expressions.
can't see me.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just kind of think like, why did they even come?
What? Yeah.
Like because you see the Link statue in the main lobby.
It's the main thing you see when you walk into PAX. Is
and there's
everyone who goes to
Zelda
PAX
related.
has to walk past this Link. I think they just wanted to like remind everyone that remind the general gaming community that this game still exists. It's gonna be good.
No, like everybody and their mother knows. It's just like
I know they're being secretive about it,
anything.
but like I feel like they're just almost not promoting it like enough. The game comes out in 2 months.
Yeah.
The only excuse is a new console. What are they doing? Please just announce
There's not going to
it.
be a new console.
That's what I'm saying. The only excuse, because I'm so confused on why they're acting like this. So
they just don't want to like give out too much about the game.
Yeah.
It just makes me think like, why did they even come? Like, I'm glad they did, but like, why?
Yeah.
Like, they're they host the typical like Mario Kart tournament, like Smash tournament, and at the other side of PAX, there's like the Nintendo Versus like booth again, and it was like there was some Mario Kart and like there was a huge Smash tournament on like the huge screen, but like there was way too many people. We just like didn't go because we were late and weren't aware that the one that's not by the entrance is the one that's actually inferior to the other one that's all the way on the other side of the floor.
Yeah, it was weird. I don't know. The whole thing was weird.
It was for sure. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so
it's a little sad.
I'm assuming will we post? Today is Thursday when we're recording this. Are we gonna post this post Saturday?
What do you think?
I think we try and get it up early. I think we get it up like. Because we have some breaking news.
We have a little bit of breaking news. I'm not gonna say who said this. And before you even think, it was not one of the Nintendo employees in the booth. We didn't even talk to them in that. sense,
that breaking news. I thought you were talking about a different.
No.
Okay.
There may or may not be. Speaking of Zelda, there may or may not be a trailer coming Saturday. We got some Saturday night. It was what the rumor was. We don't know if that. Obviously, who knows until it actually happens. But on good authority at PAX. I mean, when you're walking around PAX and you see people who know more than we do, they, you sweet talk them a little bit. They start talking stuff. That's all it is. But no, that would be dope if that drops. If not, then
oh well.
No one listens to this podcast. No, I'm kidding. I hope it drops because we need something, anything, please. Nintendo.
Oh my god, yeah, I'm so confused.
Starving.
Literally, yeah. So like. Quickly, just to like kind of end off like the Nintendo booth segment, like do we want to just quickly talk about like how we felt about the whole situation? Like you guys go ahead.
It just felt like a little overbearing. I felt like they're like holding our hand through the whole thing, and I feel like
it's very condescending almost,
yeah, like the whole time. I don't know, like the game selections, like I just didn't get it. And then playing like even if they're going to show off Yoshi's Crafted World, like maybe they want to do that. that was the worst level they could have possibly picked for that game.
Yeah.
It was just like they were sucking the fun out of it.
I think that would be the type of demo you'd want to see at like a mall or a Best Buy.
Yeah.
But PAX is like filled with people who are like video game enthusiasts. So anyone going to the Nintendo booth, I'm going to be honest, has probably already played or owns all of those games.
Yeah.
Definitely has already played the original Mario Bros. On the NES.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
The fact that they I don't think they understand what the point of that show is. It's more so to get people get people excited for stuff that they can't just play at their house. And like it makes sense if like an indie publisher is showing off games that already
like these
are
indie
released.
developers are like passionate and they like want you to go
They'll
play.
come up to you and like
they will like talk about the game and they will like describe
and it's
it to you.
awesome and it's so cool. And we'll talk about some of our favorite indie games we saw. A couple in particular stand out, but it was, I don't know, in Nintendo it just like it just
felt like another pure business move, but gone wrong in every single way possible. Gone wrong in the sense of like we perceive it as like it could have been executed way better than it was.
Yeah.
I just don't see what the benefit is. No one is going to play
the
level
idea.
Go Yoshi or the three weird mini games.
I'm even like putting myself in the shoes of a kid, thinking and like playing that level, and like me going, oh my god, that was so much fun. I want to play more. Like that was the worst level to try to showcase that because like you're literally a giant Yoshi destroying cardboard.
Like you don't gain any value from that if you're Nintendo. You don't gain like Nintendo will notice zero uptick in revenue, profit.
It almost feels like a money pit just going.
Yeah, they just like lost money on that. Like they could have easily made money if they had demoed Advance Wars.
Yeah, maybe if we like it, and
any
then
new game, like anything that is like unreleased / like just released.
Yeah, it's not like these. It's not like they just showed like games that came out like in the past year. Yeah. They showed off games that haven't come out like in like 2 years.
Yeah,
3 years.
Even something like Mario Bros. 1, like on the NES Online. If they demoed like any other like Game Boy Advance or Game Boy game that's on
because
that's
that
on
just
NES or on Switch Online, like if I play that and then like mentally go
fun,
like,
and then you're like, I'll
get the expansion pass,
and that would make sense because a lot of people still have the default plan, and they want to like pull you in.
Yeah,
but like still,
that's
Mario 1. Why are you not replacing that with like, how about like Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga? I think it is, or no, Partners in Time. Is that the one for the Game Boy?
The original one?
Yeah, the Game Boy. I forget what it's called.
Game Boy Advance. It's like, I think it's Superstar Saga. Yeah, it is. It is. I believe.
Yeah.
Why not show that off? Like, it's Mario. And then, I don't know who controls this. I don't know who decides this.
It's like an NOA thing. It's Nintendo of America. Like, it's gotta be.
I personally found it, like, not disrespectful, but, like, definitely a slap in the face that, like, I know they don't have developmental control or like even creative control with like Mario Party Superstars, but like the fact that you're gonna like demo that game and then be like, like there's no DLC, like just buy our game, and like you need to add more boards. Like it would be, it's like such a good game, but like
I mean the
DLC is obvious.
Like it's just so dumb. There's very much like an air of like Nintendo needs to have this go the exact way they want them to. They still seem so out of touch with the fact that you can't record the screen of the game you're demoing that's already out. Like,
oh my God.
Everything about it just feels like Nintendo doesn't really understand the point of this. It feels like they're just going to do it because everyone else goes to PAX, but they're going to do it and they're going to do it in their way, and their way is not fun or good. Or if Nintendo wasn't Nintendo and we weren't a Nintendo channel, we would not have gone. Even still, we very much were like in the line questioning like,
should we even do this?
Like why wait another 5 minutes? Like it could be they could let us in at any time, even if they let us in 30 seconds. Why bother? And I don't know, like it was just an odd situation.
It was weird because we waited by the Nintendo. They didn't even open up the Nintendo booth until
9:30.
No, not even 9:30. It was after that. I don't think until general admission opened. So
was it actually 10 a.m.?
Yeah, because we were in the line looking at the massive line.
We wasted media hour, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because we could have gone to like
how were we supposed to know that like it was gonna be that like?
Well, that's on them. It was supposed to open at 9:30, and then they didn't.
I felt like a kindergarten kid like lining up in a single file line, like ready to be like handheld, like walking around having fun.
At least we got a tote bag.
Do we know if
True.
crappy acrylic pens? Do we know if media hour happens again tomorrow?
I think
No idea.
I think it happens every day.
No idea.
I think
then-
if 9, you think you're.
Oh yeah, I'll look it up. But if it does,
not
we'll
too sure.
run it back and just
Yeah.
go back
Not
around.
do that.
Yeah, no more Nintendo for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, that like odd situation, but
I mean, like, had fun because like I was with the boys,
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
like it's funny. Like you can have fun in any situation.
And so
'cause
a
it's just
couple,
memes.
I do want to clarify this. A couple of the Nintendo representatives who were
Were
there
great, yeah.
were
Were
great, yeah.
awesome. Like
yeah.
I like
Very chill.
very nice, very level-headed. Like they didn't feel like they didn't feel like NPC like like they felt like real people. Like not like
Yeah.
like there were some people. There were some of the Nintendo representatives there that were awesome. There were some of them there that were just like doing their job and no impression, not good, not bad. And then there were some of them that just like that. Granted, they were probably following the rules they were given,
Yeah, I was
so
gonna
it's
say
not
that.
on them. This is not like a personal attack at all.
Definitely
but
not.
it was just very, very odd. Like definitely could have been reworked in some way, but
Yeah, I mean they're just like listening to the rules.
Yeah.
but like the rules suck. So
the rules. It's not that they suck. Like they also just don't make sense. Like I can't see any
in no
upside
way.
for Nintendo doing what they did.
No.
Because
I would love to talk to like the group or like the person maybe that like decided that lineup and like how that was, and like ask them like what the benefit was.
I don't get it.
Like, I don't get
Because
it.
even stuff like stuff where they were like forcing you to move on and like only letting you do like one game or whatever, like that's fine, whatever, because they got to keep the line moving. The Nintendo line's always going to be huge. Like it sucks, but whatever, I'll let it slide. But like stuff like not recording the screen for a game that's already out, or like demoing Yoshi's Crafted World and like.
Which also it's not the full game, right? Like it's actually a singular level.
Yeah.
So like if there was any gameplay that
You
like,
could probably
let's
go
just
to
say
your
there's
local
no
Target and film the demo there. It'd be the exact same thing.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
I
just
don't
didn't
know.
make sense. It was all weird, but
So it's like, again, like it just does not make sense with the Link statue and like
Yeah.
having nothing.
We went into it
like,
knowing that.
Well,
Breath of the Wild
I
wasn't-
know.
And not Tears of the
Tears
Kingdom.
of the Kingdom, yeah.
I still say Breath of the Wild too.
I know.
can't.
Because it was
all
like
the
that
time.
for so long.
I know.
yeah.
Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, it was announced there's going to be no playable demo of the game at PAX.
Yeah.
We knew that for weeks.
Yeah. I just expected different
but
demos.
they still put a statue.
Yeah. I thought the statue was fine.
I
Yeah,
agree.
I'd rather be statue than no statue.
Yeah.
It was just weird. Like the weirdest
No,
thing
but
was
the
that
I agree with you. It's just like the logic of it is.
I mean,
like,
it's still a marketing
strange.
move. Like, if they're not going to do a demo of the statue, I think the statue.
Yeah.
Like, the weirdest part was just the games they chose. Like, even if
Like,
no
give us a
Zelda.
demo, you know.
I would love a demo. I would love a demo. I'm not going to argue with you on that.
Yeah. So now we're going to talk about the indies from today.
True.
They were good. They were indies.
They were good.
Yeah.
The
They actually were.
The indies. I don't think I had one big standout. Normally, I've had a big standout indie.
Last year,
That
Our standout was actually not a game, in my opinion. I think.
Yeah,
Oh,
true.
yeah.
But I've had one standout that I've gone home and immediately purchased or wishlist, depending on if it was released.
Curse to Golf, right?
Yeah, Curse to Golf last year. A year before that, it was Kunai. Or 2 years before that, it was a game called Kunai. It was like a Metroidvania thing where you run around as this little like TV looking guy, and he like shoots out these like kunai, which are like knives. It was cool. You would like swing from them. The year before that was a game called Dunk Lords, which I'm actually in the credits for. Great game.
Really?
Yeah, well, because I like beta tested for them.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, great game. Great game. Technically, you guys are too, because I think it's switched up actually. That's in the
Really?
credits.
Oh, nice.
So, but
That's awesome.
great game. It's like an NBA Jam mixed with Smash Bros type thing. If they added, I told the guy this and he didn't. Well, he listened, but he didn't get to it. But if they added online play to that game and made it like free to players, something like that, it would be so big. Unfortunately, it didn't catch on as much as I thought it could have, because I think it's a very fun game. But I love that game, and this is not sponsored. I have to say that because I made a short about this game because I love it so much. I was just like
And
advertising the
people
game.
were saying, "Is this a sponsor?"
It was
I
not
remember that.
sponsored. They have never paid me anything. Actually, that's not. They gave me a free shirt once because I beat my friends like 5 times in a row when we were playing at PAX. So the developer gave me a free shirt.
Yeah.
But besides that, they have never paid me. Guy probably forgets I exist, but I love his game. So yeah. Anyway, with that being said, there wasn't like one big game that stood out to me this year. There was a cool product, which was not a game, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
And there were a couple games that I think could be really good, but
I think we can talk about,
through
like,
through no fault of their own, they don't demo well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's another one that we'll talk about that I think is similar to that. But we'll start with Animal Well.
Yep.
All right, Animal Well. You want to take it away?
Yeah,
or?
everybody this is probably the most well-known indie game that was at PAX because it's from Big Mo Donkey's publishing company.
Yeah.
Their first game, I'm pretty sure.
I believe so, yeah.
From what I saw, it seemed like a pretty fun platform. I really liked the art style. I don't know. I thought it was just like it was a cute little, platformer game.
Yeah. There was, to my knowledge, it was not like a demo.
It was just a time.
Yeah, it was just you would just start the game, and then like after 10 or 15 minutes, it
would kick you off,
essentially faded to black, said thank you for playing, and took you back to this main menu, started over.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I'm looking forward to this game, and I probably will end up purchasing it because the level design that we were able to grasp was it seemed pretty cool. I loved the visuals were incredible.
The visuals were probably
you get a firecracker and you throw it and it just goes like bow 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 bow. It was so cool. Yeah. There was like a CRT effect over the whole thing, but that didn't apply to the firecracker, which was cool. It was a weird layers system.
I also don't know the story at all because I played probably 2 minutes of the demo.
Yeah.
So
I don't even know if there is. I didn't know if there was.
Yeah.
There might be an opening cutscene that we just didn't get to see because of the demo. But with that being said, the game it didn't hook me right away. But that's not really the strength of a game like that. Of a exploring.
That's a game where you
based-
get into the actual mechanics and gameplay in the feel, and you're okay, you kind of master it over the course of the game.
That's why we say it doesn't demo well because in the demo, you kind of want to get a grasp of this is kind of what's happening in the story.
You can
and
immediately
also want the gameplay.
You can immediately tell with a party game how it plays in real time.
Yeah, and that's why there's so many of them at PAX.
You can't really do that with a campaign game where it's a platformer and stuff like that. But
it didn't I am more excited. The demo served its purpose. I'm more excited to purchase the game now than I was 12 hours ago. That's just the truth. Mm-hmm. But it's just there's certain games where they'll hook you right away in the demo, and those are in the past. Curse to Golf was one of those games.
Yeah.
Hooked us right away. I at least bought it. I played a fair bit of it. It fun game. Dunk Lords hooked me right away. I was playing with my friends. Super fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
This isn't the type of game that can hook you right away, but with what it was able to convey within the 10-minute demo, I was very impressed. It was also on a Steam Deck, which was super cool.
That was cool. It was the first time I really played on Steam Deck.
Yeah,
that was neat.
Honestly, they may have sold me on a Steam Deck over I'm probably not going to buy it because it's so expensive. But it's pretty neat. You can just play any Steam game.
It's a more powerful Switch.
Yeah,
but different library.
It's the Switch Pro that we'll never get.
No, it was cool though. And I hope they figure everything out. We got there super early. That was one of the first games we went to in media hour, and
a donkey had to go and run and get HDMI.
Yeah, I was just walking down, and I was
work.
oh, I think that's Donkey because I don't know the guy, so I was I think that's him. I feel I've seen his face in a video or so before. And he was just booking it out of the thing with someone else, and then I walk up and his wife, who's I guess the head. I don't know how they split up the Big Mode side of things, the publishing company, but she starts demoing the game, hands me a Steam Deck, talking to me, and they have 10 different PlayStation 5s set up. None of them are working, and she's oh yeah, Jason just ran out to get a cable. I'm oh. Good luck. She looked like she was handling. I don't know if she's freaking out internally or something, but I feel if you're publishing
for 10 PS5s,
I don't know, man. I feel if you're publishing,
was it working when you went back?
No. I never saw it working, but we're gonna go back. I'm sure they got to figure it out. If I was her, I would have been freaking out as my first game being published, especially with that sort of.
I think this is their first convention, showing off the game. At all. Yeah, first time I'm pretty sure it's been playable to anybody.
I think it was playable at PAX's prior, just as the developer himself.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But yeah,
yeah,
I don't know. The game was fun. Played it on a Steam Deck. It was dope. Yeah, I got nothing else really to say about that.
No, I think
you guys played it more than me.
I think it could be a fun game. I didn't have enough time with it to really get a if I'm gonna pick it up or not.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah.
Wait for the reviews on that one, I guess, unless that thing's up your alley, then go for it. I mean, it seems like it's a high quality game.
I like
That's all we can tell
platformers,
you.
so it's right up my alley. But
It's definitely a high quality game. Like you could get the vibe from it.
Yeah,
we just don't know what the
there wasn't anything
is.
like stand out about it. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like it was the type of game like there was no gimmick right away. Mm-hmm. Like even with Kunai, like Kunai's a very similar, like you backtrack a lot, 2D platformer, minimalist art style. I think, but that had a gimmick. The movement was like
same thing with Curse to
different.
Golf. It was that was a platformer as well, but it was hitting
the gimmick
golf
was
ball.
golf. Yeah.
With this, it's you're jumping around with like a little frog. But
there might be a gimmick later.
We just don't know. Yeah.
But yeah, if we want to move on to another game that also could be a hit but didn't demo well, would be. What's it called again, PJ? Wild West?
West Hunt.
West Hunt.
West
okay,
Hunt.
I was waiting for you to say something because I completely forgot. Mac and I played this one. It was definitely, I could see it being insanely fun.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
It's like a hard, you can't really grasp the mechanics of it. If you want to
I'll talk about it. So it's kind of like Spy Party, if you've ever played that, where in that game there's somebody like trying to like act like an NPC and do tasks. It's kind of similar to Among Us in a way, but not really, because
it's like reverse Among Us kind of,
because the imposter is doing the task. You're trying to blend in with all the other NPCs.
Yeah.
But what's different about this than Spy Party is the actual like the guy trying to shoot the imposter, the spy, or the outlaw in this game. The sheriff, he actually walks around with all the people. So as the outlaw, you can kind of hide from him as you're like walking around the city town square. I love games like those, but the main problem with it I could see right off the bat was the map was just way too big.
Yeah.
Yeah, the map was huge. There were way too many people. There were like a ton of different tasks you had to do. Mm-hmm. And so there was just no way. The game did have a neat mechanic where it would tell you if you went to a certain mailbox at a certain time, it would tell, as the sheriff, it would tell you what task the outlaw was doing at what time in game. So you can like try and like, if you remembered, if you saw someone was poisoning the water at 1 minute and 30 seconds in the game, and then it confirms that later that was the bandit, then there you go. But demo wise, like they could have used with a map, they could have done a map half the size with like maybe 5 to 10 total
because there was
NPCs.
Like 20 something NPCs, and that one is
no universe.
There's no way we're ever gonna.
The movement speed was also so slow.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that, but also that's
how those games work.
You have to kind of blend in with the NPCs as you go. So that was.
But it would be interesting if they added like sprinting, and then like obviously you being able to like control that. Mm-hmm. So if you were like,
I think that
running,
might have actually been in the game because there was
you
like
guys just didn't know. Maybe?
Yeah, because there was like I picked like a class when I was the bandit, and I picked like the fast class, and it said something about sprinting, but then my keybind was just like broken. Like I had to go into settings to change it, and I never got the chance. So
yeah, well, I mean, if sprinting is in the game, like you can go places faster and like get like tasks done, but you have to be careful because the NPCs only walk.
Yeah, so you're instantly like outing yourself if the guy sees you. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. I think it has potential. If the developers play their cards right, it has potential to be a huge game on Twitch. If they somehow make that free to play, it's like that's huge. That's massive.
Was there a battle pass? No, it was a store button. That's what it was. Yeah, not a battle pass.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with that, but it's a unique idea. I'm not going to say it's like too unique, but they put their own spin on it. Yeah. The art style was cool. I think just like a little bit of polishing in terms of the actual game, not mechanics, but the like balancing.
Yeah, for sure.
And then that game would be cool. So that was West Hunt.
Yes,
West Hunt. Perfect. Yeah. Finally got the name right after like 10 tries.
Yeah.
PJ, what do you want to move on to next? We got a couple more things to talk about.
I want to just like verify this title really quick because it was like this hockey game and we only know it's Goons something.
Yeah.
So
Goons something. It was like Goons something with ball maybe?
I have no clue.
I didn't even play this. This was Mac and PJ, so I have nothing to say on this title. I was playing some other game, but I forget what it was called, but I'm kind of glad I forget what it was called because it was a 2D platformer with poorly designed levels. So I couldn't tell if it was meant to like make me rage, or maybe I'm just really, really bad. But like it like there was like a dash move you could do, and like game development 101. This is the ground. This is me. This is the dash move. This is a massive cliff, and what you have to do is you have to jump and then dash over it. As soon as you get the dash move, which is like right here, first thing you're gonna do, a giant RT pops up on the screen. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I press RT and it dashes me right into the cliff. Like it's like
Yeah, that's
Did anyone playtest? Like
no.
Yeah. I don't know.
Got the name.
What's
so
it
it's
called?
Goons, Legend, and Mayhem.
Legend and Mayhem. All right.
So how was this game?
Okay. So we at first it was kind of
it was
janky.
We
accidentally
were like, what the hell? So we went into the story mode first.
Mm-hmm. I thought that was the main mode at first.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Well, like it was, but like we didn't know there was like a private lobby.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, there's like the story mode, like it's 2 players and you're like, you're Zamboni crashers or something, and you have to like find your way on the ice through and escape and whatever the hell. And it's like hockey. So like, you're shooting pucks at like snowmans and you're shooting pucks at like switches. It's like it's like I don't know what you call those games where it's like an arena and you're like playing a sport like 2D with each other, and it has like items and different abilities and stuff like that. I don't know what the genre for that is, but anyway, it was kind of like that.
It's like an arcade sports game.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. So yeah, it was interesting. It had like a puzzle aspect to it.
Yeah.
And then we went to like the private match.
The private match was where the game actually like got me.
It was fun, yeah.
Because I was not having fun in the story mode. Part of that was because my controller was disconnected. So once I got connected, it was just like I wasn't blown away by it.
Yeah.
But the actual like custom lobby where we were actually playing hockey was actually really fun. But those goalies were brutal. You could not get anything on them.
Yeah, so it was like, it wasn't actual goalies, it was like cardboard. Like the ones where you see where like they move on its own and like it. Yeah. So it was like, I think it may have had a health bar, which like I don't know. But like we probably shot at least 20 times at each other and we never scored. So like, we're using an Xbox controller and like the bumpers in the back, like depending on like what character you chose. And like there's characters with like different abilities and stuff. So there was like a wizard, and then there's like, like a goon. Yeah. Like your typical hockey goon or whatever and stuff like that. So like I had this like lightning attack move thing, and I just like used that when I was in front of the goalie and I scored in the overtime.
Yeah.
But like before that, I was so confused. I was like, why are they actually him?
Yeah, the goalies are
like, why are they insane? Yeah, I was like, I was so lost.
I definitely did like how the game controlled, because I don't know if you noticed this, but if you started carving, you'd move faster throughout which I think is just like a neat touch to like the movement of the game.
For sure.
I don't know. I think that could be a really fun party game. I really was not sold on the story mode part of it. But
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like I didn't have like a good enough like, I don't know, impression of it.
Yeah.
And it was really weird. Do you remember when we got to the part where we were like having to hit the switches? So like you threw the puck like across the edge and it transferred. So like I would pass the puck to you, and then I would control your character with my controller instead of you controlling it. It's like,
yeah, it was odd.
Why? Like,
was that?
It was really strange. No, but like I didn't get it, because like I passed it to Mac and it said player 1, and I was player 1.
Yeah.
And like we're trying to use his controller, and it's like, okay, so I just like gave him my controller really quick, and he just like did his part and then like gave it back, and I was like, okay, what? Why?
Yeah. It didn't
I don't know if it was a bug.
Enough,
yeah, I don't know if it was a bug or if that's intentional, but like.
But the movement of the game, I felt
was good.
Was definitely very good.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
Dope.
No.
Yeah. Goonies. Whatever.
Goons, Legend of Mayhem.
Goons, Legend of Mayhem. All right. Do we have any more games?
We do. We have one more game. We have the product we were talking about.
All right.
And then we have my stupid purchase.
Yeah.
Belly bumpers.
Oh yeah. That was
so that this was like
it wasn't like you can't make a full game out of it. You can't really.
It was a Mario Party minigame. It was pretty much a Mario Party minigame. The one where you're on top of the ball and you got to bump into each other and then try not to fall off. It was basically if that got like expanded into a full game, and like there were more mechanics. There were power-ups you could pick up. There were different stages it looked like you could choose. There were like obstacles on the stages. Like there were these giant pickles where if you bounce off them, you like go back onto the stage. There was a block which acted as like a parry. I think you could like dash. You could like charge up a dash and then dash it in a certain direction. So like they fleshed it out, but at its core,
there's no
that game should that game should never cost more than $10.
Yeah,
I feel like it was one of those things where I was like, that's fun, but like I'm not like saying, yo, do you guys want to play Belly Bumpers?
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like it's not. It's one of those games that's like a one-off. I don't even know how to explain it.
I don't think that weird. I think replayability is going to be their big hurdle to try and overcome. And if they do it, great. The guy, the guys seem nice. It was a cool, cool setup. I just don't think that's like the most replayable game. And for some people it might be, but
because that kind of game is perfect for Mario Party, because it's like, oh wow, like I hit you off the side, like haha.
And you have fun when it comes up every once in a while playing.
And it's like, oh, I love this mini game, but like, as it's like it felt like making a Mario Party mini game as a full game. Except like there was food that would drop, and then you could eat it, and they could become like ripped, and then you would like be faster, but you would be knocked off more easily by like the characters that like
I still don't understand what the food did.
And like
I think you were supposed to get fat so you wouldn't get knocked further, but I ate like 6 things and then my meter started going down, and then I was exercising and my meter also went down, so I don't really know what
I had no clue what
there was an exercise button. I thought it was just like an emote, but then like a meter started dropping and I was like, oh, is this an actual mechanic? It was never explained, so I don't know.
It was a little strange. But like I mean
it was a fun game. Like it definitely wasn't bad. It's just not something that I think you could turn into a full game, but or sell for more than $10, like he said.
It's like a perfect mini game for like Mario Party or like something that belongs in like It Takes Two.
It's kind of like, I don't know, have either of you guys played Astro Bears on the Switch? So it's basically like that sort of thing, but like even Astro Bears I'd say would probably have more like in depth to the gameplay. Like this game will have more power-ups and stages and all that stuff, because Astro Bears has like 4 characters and like 3 sizes of stage, but it's that sort of thing where it's like, if it's 99 cents on the eShop, hey, maybe you can hop on, maybe you'll play, like you'll never play
if you got some gold points,
you'll never play for more than 10 minutes at a time, and you'll play probably like 10 total play sessions, but I don't know, could be good.
Okay, so for our, I think the product that we tried, I think it was all like our favorite thing of the day for sure.
Oh
yeah. There was one moment that just sold me on it, and it didn't actually, because it's expensive, but like sold me on the idea of it.
So you can explain. So it's called the WoW Cube, and this is like a console.
So it's a 2x2 Rubik's Cube, except instead of stickered colors on the side, they're all LCD touchscreens. And there's a gyroscope, an accelerometer, I think, and the touchscreens, I don't think they're not like, you don't really use them, but you can like tap the side of the cube and it'll sense that, and that's how you like get it into menus and stuff. This thing was so cool. Just the fact that you're able to like use it as a Rubik's Cube and like switch and tilt and shit and shake it and all that stuff. Like it's sick because the screens like work. And then we played Cut the Rope, and first of all, oh my goodness, it was hard. Like that mental workout. Like I was just moving stuff around trying to hope to get it. I beat like 1 level, and then we got stuck on the second one, or maybe the third one.
We got stuck on the second one,
It was hard. It was really hard because like I am not a Rubik's Cube guy, so I didn't like know what to do. I was just kind of like guessing, trying to like figure stuff out. But the moment that sold me on the game is Cut the Rope. I'm not going to explain Cut the Rope. You know what it is. But it starts off with the like candy thing on the rope, and it's dragged down, and then you tilt the cube, the entire cube, to get it to go down like one of the holes, and then it goes to the lower cube. So the rope is now stranded between 2 cubes. Then as soon as you twist horizontally to like separate the 2 cubes, the rope snaps, which like it cannot. Hopefully it'll be on screen right now, like a description or a video of what I'm talking about. If we don't have a video of that specifically, whatever. But like it cannot be described how cool that was, because I was like, how do you cut the rope? Like I was tapping it, I was like, how this doesn't make sense. And it just so intuitively, you just go, and then it just cuts, and then you can just tilt it around.
It's
like,
so cool.
It doesn't sound cool.
So
it's so cool. It definitely, this was something that demoed really well.
That's something that I feel like you have to be in person, like actually like mess around and like play with it.
It's so tactile.
It is like the quintessential like desk gadget. Like it would be so good to have. like, you know, because it has like a dock charger too, and
Yeah.
there's like a little slit in the bottom, and then you just like put it on the charger and it just like sits there. It's like a flat one, so it's like it doesn't have to be on the side, so it's just like aesthetically pleasing. So that's it. It's really good. There's only one problem with it: the price. So when we were there, there was a coupon. It's like, oh, scan this coupon, and since we're all sold out, you can get $100 off. And I'm going, $100 off?
Yeah, and I remember Thomas
asked him,
and he was trying to dodge
how much
the
was
question.
it? Yeah, and he was trying to dodge the question because he knows it's a lot of money, and he goes, normally it's $6.99, but then you get $100 off, so it's $5.99. It's like, oh. Okay.
But that was, I couldn't understand what he was saying, because that was
almost 2 switches, right?
I don't know if that was just the cube, or if that was like the cube, the charging case, the carry case, the like Gorilla Glue screen something. There was like a Gorilla screen, like,
Gorilla Glass or
Gorilla
something
Glass
like that.
screen thing, where he was saying like the screen was more tough. I don't know what necessarily here. I'd look it up. I'm recording with my phone. I don't know exactly what the price of just the cube would be.
Because he said there was different models.
Yeah, I guess
I
the
can look it
cube
up.
and the charging, but
like the model that we held, I think is the perfect one.
Was that the
like,
base one?
Yeah, I think so. It had like 4 screens or whatever.
I don't think there's ones with more screens.
But like, if it was like $199, like, I personally wouldn't, but like, I feel like that's a lot.
That's
better
something
of a price.
that I could totally
Like
see myself just like randomly.
even with a coupon, is crazy.
Yeah,
like,
$5.99 with $100 off is wild.
This one says only 400.
Let me see.
Yeah, so maybe the Gorilla Glass one was more expensive.
Yeah, we were playing.
Yeah.
we were playing that one. So this
I
one,
still think 400 is way too much for that thing.
yeah,
I think it is too, but like
it's not as bad.
you also gotta understand, like it makes
much are
sense.
you-
Like
yeah.
they're a small company. They
Yeah.
can't have like too good profit margins on this thing. Like
Yeah, that's fair.
you know, it is.
It's
what
kind
it
of
is.
how like
Strictly
Oculus
from
started
a-
off, if you
Yeah.
think about
Oh.
it. Because
Yeah.
like back when VR was like first coming out, those things were like
Way
how
too
much
much
were they?
expensive.
Just like
Thousands.
over thousands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thousands.
And now you can buy one for like $299.
Yeah.
They upped it to $399, but still.
Yeah.
And hopefully that happens with this company because it's like a great
Yeah.
desk gadget, and like I feel like companies of like or developers of like popular like app store games like on your phone.
Yeah.
Like
I would
they would
pay so much money to see Nintendo purchase this company, and
Oh,
then
like,
like that would be so cool.
Yeah, that
They
would be neat.
software wise, they would be able to knock it out of the park for like games to make on this.
Yeah.
We only played Cut the Rope, and again, we
There's
got
a bunch
stuck
of
on level
others.
2.
Yeah.
There's looked to be a bunch of others. We don't know, how many games there are. If you can like download new games if this thing has like an app store. I could not tell
probably
you
does,
the
yeah.
startest. I could not tell you the start of it, but
Yeah.
if like Nintendo or a company of similar like creative caliber was able to like work on this game or work on this cube
Yeah.
and like make software for it and fix up the hardware for it and have that financial backing, I would buy one.
Yeah.
That would be huge.
be
But,
sick.
I don't know. I think I can't see myself getting one until a price drop, but
Yeah.
if you have exorbitant amount of money to spend and
I
are
was about
looking
to say.
for the quintessential desk toy,
Yeah.
this is it for you.
Yeah.
Buy the cube.
It's
if
great.
if that's
It's
your
great.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. If you cannot go and test it out, then just like put your faith in us. Like once you touch one, once you like use one and like move it and whatever, you will be infinitely more infatuated with the device than just watching this review and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's
It's like
demos really well.
it's really fun. It's like aesthetically pleasing. Like
Yeah.
everything like makes sense.
Yeah.
Even down to the charging. I remember I said this to you, where it's like on one side of the screen when it's charging, it's like a circle, and then so like obviously there's like 4 tiles on like each side of the cube, and like one tile represented 25% of it being charged.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So it was like in a circle and it would like pulse.
Yeah.
I don't know. It, like just stuff like that. It's like
Yeah.
it's great. It's great.
It's
Like,
definitely a very cool looking device.
yeah, it's just like I hope that people with like you said, a lot of money buy the stuff and like make it more affordable for like people like us who could like see that and be like, yeah, I mean like I'll get it. I'm at my desk a lot, it'd be like a nice like way to like take a break. It's a good little gadget. So, yeah.
For sure. All right. We got one more thing to go through, and it is PJ's.
Speaking of spending an
PJ's
exorbitant amount
purchases.
of money.
Yeah. So Yeah.
Hey, I'll preface this with saying, if you're happy with the purchase, then you're happy with the purchase. There's there's no judgment here. I think it's cool actually that. Well, I'll let you explain.
Yeah,
later, but
all good. So last year, I don't know if you guys remember, longtime podcast watchers will remember that I was looking for Pokemon Black 2 because it's the only game in the mainline series that I do not have like one of each game from. Like I have a game from like each generation of like Pokemon, and like, you know, I love the series, even though I like to hate on it a lot, and their main decision / anyway.
Yeah.
So, you know, I finally find, like, you know, the game. We go to a retro booth, like, early. I'm outside, I'm like, boys, let's hit the retro booth first so that I can be there right away to get it.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, after we go to, like, Nintendo and whatever, like, we'll go. So I go to the booth, and it's like, you know, the dude is just setting up, and...
this was bad. This was bad on your end. I mean,
bad. No, I mean, like, I told you that. Like, I was...
It was just funny.
Yeah, for sure. So the guy's just setting up. He's like, oh, I don't have, like, any price tags on it. Like, I asked him, he has the game. He's like, yeah, here's the game. And he's like, he's going through eBay. And he's like, here are the prices. Like, I don't have, like, anything.
He's trying to decide what to charge PJ. He doesn't know how much the game is worth. Yeah. Earlier he was like, dude, we forgot to put the prices on all the DS games to, like, the other guy he was working with. Like, he doesn't know how much to charge PJ because PJ immediately, like, right at the start of media hour, pretty much, we got there. He hadn't had, like, time to fully set up or anything, so he didn't know how much to charge.
Yeah, so basically, you know, he scrolls through and you see a range of, like, you know, some are 90, some are, like, 120, some are, like, 150, 180 or whatever.
Yeah.
So, of course, you're going to see the huge number and give the star eyes. So, I want the game so badly that I even told you, I'm like, I will spend anything, and I said it too loud so the guy heard.
So, I go up to PJ, and I'm like, hey, man, we had already discussed that he would spend anything. I knew this. Yeah. I go up to him and like, hey man, what's your upper limit? Like 100 or 110? Because like I don't know what the etiquette is with most retro game things or even these sort of things at PAX, but like you're like if I'm going to buy a $100 plus old video game, I'm gonna haggle with the guy. I'm gonna try and get it as low as possible. I'm like, so what's your upper limit, PJ? Like, well, like 110, expecting him to be like, yeah, or like,
because I'm just like so excited. I'm just like so excited to get it.
On Christmas morning, he's like, man, I'll pay whatever. And I swear to God, I see this retro, you know, game seller guy who's like literally from this is PJ, this is the retro game seller guy. That distance, I just see his ears perk up, and he goes. Starts scrolling through, finds like a you know listing on eBay. Goes like, see, look, it's worth 140. Points it at that.
And I'm like, yeah, sure. And like, Thomas walks away, and he's like,
oh man,
bro. There's no way.
I was just laughing.
Like,
and
it's like,
I don't care what you spend money
it's like
on.
You could have negotiated with the guy. I was like before I was like, I was like trying to justify it. I was like, like I'm just like, you know, a big fan. I should have negotiated. Yeah. In all honesty, what it's probably worth, I think the lowest I probably could have got it for is like 90 US.
Yeah,
because like
I think they probably would have charged you more than that. I don't think that guy would have dropped under 120.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think, in my opinion, from like just talking to him kind of and like seeing like how he was and everything, I don't think he was gonna let me get it like below 120. I think I could have saved $20. So like that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But like 140 for a DS game
it wasn't bad at all. It sounds heinous, but it was just it was so funny to just see like
it's just like
I tried to wingman you through it so hard, and then you
stupid decision.
Took that and threw it on the ground and spit on it when you were like,
yeah.
I'll pay whatever. And then the cashier is ringing him up, just goes. Like he just looks straight up like, oh.
It was just like the entire situation just went wrong, except for actually.
Except
like,
you got
what you wanted.
So. Yeah, like, you know, I maybe could I have saved $50? Yeah, but like at the end of the day, like I finally found it. Like the 3DS store is like closing, and like people are kind of like shutting off like the whole DS era completely, and like we're jumping forward. Yeah. And I know that Black 2 is a DS game, but anyway, that. I overpaid, but I mean, I got it, so there you go. I mean,
yeah. He's been talking about it since like I got in the car at the airport.
Yeah, so. I was like,
literally.
I said, Mac, this year, I told Thomas because he got me first because you were a little late getting on the plane. I was like, Mac, I'm buying it this year. I don't care how much I have to pay for it. And you're like, oh god.
Apparently you didn't care.
Yeah, dude. I mean, maybe could have saved 50, but oh well. I mean, got it, and huge fan of
it is
the
now
games,
yours.
and now
it is in your collection.
Now I got it. So
when we go back, we might look more at the retro game stores just see if they have anything, anything left. They might like lower the prices if we go on like Saturday or something.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, that was PAX. We went for one day. We were only there for like not
2.5.
Yeah, not that many hours of like actual floor time. But we saw pretty much everything we wanted to see.
We saw, yeah. I mean, we didn't make the same mistake last year. We had a lot of funny stories last year because last year was our first year going, and we kind of went around.
Yeah, we were like
the floor. So we did like the anime game run,
moseyed
like,
around,
the horror game run, and then the anime horror game run, and then it was like it was just this entire kind of thing that was not for us, kind of, and it was like
certain games are just
it was like a
right,
kind of thing. It just was not our interests, and we just kind of felt out of place.
And maybe we need to have a more open mind.
We do have an open mind. We just know what we like, dude.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I guess
we got a closed open mind.
Yeah, it's like half and half, you know, sort of thing.
Like in what's in our genre, we will be open to, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like if it fits under the status quo.
If it looks good, I'll play it. that's my open mind.
Yeah.
I think that's about it. We will hit you guys with another episode if anything crazy happens while we're at PAX. Besides that,
I mean, we're gonna go for one more day. And
one more day at least. So we'll
explore.
Yeah, we'll see what see what the word is. We might go have some funny stories. So if anything crazy happens, you'll get another PAX episode. If not, you'll just get another normal episode.
Probably next year.
Yeah, probably. Right. Look out in 2024. Or maybe, we'll give you a new episode in like 2026, and by that point, Nintendo will still be demoing Yoshi's Crafted World. So we will have.
They might be onto Odyssey by then.
Yeah, honestly, they might be like
maybe Mario U Deluxe. Who knows?
Yeah, we don't know. It's crazy.
They'll be showing off Breath of the Wild when Tears of the Kingdom's out.
True.
Yeah. You already know. If they had demoed Breath of the Wild, I would have lost my mind.
It's just the biggest slap in the face. It's just completely a middle finger if they did that. Bro.
It was wild. Anyway, we'll talk to you guys in the next one. I'm Thomas from the Special Shop, joined by PJ and Mac in real life.
Yep.
Signing off for now. Peace.
Peace.